We really don't have much to say, I mean. And then I move we adjourn the closed session.
Second.
Roll call.
Who seconded that?
Nancy.
Ravazzo,
Aye.
Ward,
Aye.
Lowry,
Yes.
Goff.
Aye.
Okay, we have payment of bills. Any questions?
You'll note our first couple of items are the quarterly payments to the fire board and the
Right.
library commission.
What did the dronography, what did the drone?
I had to be careful writing that word. It's a whole new industry, I'm afraid, separate from some others. That's the flyover for,
Gills Rock.
Nice, yeah.
That's a real word?
That's the name of the company, I think, no?
Ah.
Or is it the name of the company?
yeah.
I'll move that we pay the bills as presented.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
And going on. Okay, administrators report.
I've been burning up my vacation the last couple of weeks, and with the holiday, just getting stuff ready for the end of the year with the bills, and working with the couple of vendors on the Weber house. I've got the plumbing issues taken care of with the plumber, and the electrician was in there on Monday. I haven't talked to him since I got back. He thought he'd get everything done that day. I'll try to get a hold of him tomorrow. Gave him a copy of the report about a week, 10 days maybe before. He said he'd get it done on the 31st, so I'll find out shortly if that's taken care of. And we're looking at tentative closing on the 28th for two of the properties anyway. Maybe we can do all three on the 28th. Most of it is coming together fairly nicely, knock on wood. That's about it.
Okay. Public input.
Not until 14.
14, okay. All right, going on to number 11. Ordinance 219, fireworks. Any comments, questions?
Need to put that one paragraph underneath. The first paragraph, the town of Liberty goes hereby follows everything that's in red on the first page. So it flows that way.
Yeah. How many permits do we issue through the website?
We don't issue any through the website. They have to come in and pick them up.
Okay, so
They
the,
turn in their paperwork sometimes by email, but they have to, their certificates of insurance come in usually by fax. But they have to physically come in here and pick up their permit. And we probably do, I wanna say 10, maybe, a season. Most of them all around 4th of July.
I had a comment on H, I think $20 is not sufficient to do the covering.
Oh, no, I just threw that amount in
Okay.
there.
I
Not-
also would like to know parameters on what constitutes a neighbor.
Constitutes
A
what?
neighbor.
Oh.
Right.
Is that adjacent property? Is that, half mile? Is what, how far does the notification have to go? And I will tell you too, that this year, there will be people, unless we send them the new ordinance, that will be a little miffed because they're so used to doing it one way. So, I think maybe it would behoove us in the office to send everybody who has gotten a permit in the past, send them the new one.
Yep.
A new copy?
Yeah.
Well, I think you ought to list it on the website, who gets the permits to begin with, on the town website.
As far as the question about neighbor, that's kind of a tough one, because sound carries, and how far it carries is dependent upon how clear it is, if there's fog, if it's raining, if there are trees. I don't know that that's a quantifiable, something that can be put quantifiably in an ordinance.
Well, we have to have some kind of parameter to notify the neighbor.
Yeah, yeah.
So I put it in as being subjective, let it be at the discretion of the administrators,
Yeah.
the staff.
Yeah,
But it's putting a burden on the staff then that,
I guess if it's subjective, you can look at the area, and if it's very densely populated, you might be inclined to alert the neighbors more. If they're out in the middle of a big old piece of property, maybe no notification is necessary. I don't know, that's a tough one.
I'm just gonna ask Bud, we're less than a quarter mile apart, 2/3 of a mile, and the same to Annika, and less to the Oryx at my house, but on Beach Road and Gills Rock, it's kind of boom, boom, boom.
So which one of you guys are shooting all the fireworks off that I hear?
Can't say anything about that at this point.
And how do you distinguish between, that just brings something else up. On New Year's Eve, my husband went outside and shot tracer bullets, and they're loud and colorful. Does that constitute a firework? And my goodness, I'm sure you could hear that a mile away
A
easily.
firearm cartridge or shotgun shell is not included.
No.
I have to tell my son-in-law I can bring his guns up, but not his fireworks, maybe.
How about 1 mile?
That's a lot of notification if you're notifying all the properties.
Yeah.
And I remember when I was doing
Or half
conditional
mile.
uses,
It-
300 feet is
It
a lot.
impacts people closest.
Yes.
Well,
So how close were the people, like houses down, when this came up on Beach Road?
which time?
Wow. Was it the immediate neighbors or the ones a couple down?
Oh, in our case? Probably 7, 8 houses away, I think,
Oh,
except for the night at the waterfront, which I referred to as the Third World War. I mean, that was unbelievable.
What is the purpose of notification? So that the neighbors can what,
Leave.
put cotton in their ears or get a thunder shirt on their dog or,
Keep your dog inside.
yeah.
or for the protection of the owner who's the permit, the name on the permit? So if you're notified and you object to the noise, you're somewhat ameliorated because you're notified?
Yeah, we told ya. That's why I asked the question.
It came up when we discussed it, that's one of the reasons I threw it in there, but it's easier said than done.
Yeah, I'm leaning more towards possibly, of course, the website is not real immediate either. If you put it on the website, it's apt to show up on the website after the fact. Well, that's not so cool.
Well, it seems like there should be notification. I don't know what people, so if they want to be outside and not have to listen to fireworks, then they're just going to have an issue.
How about if we include the town administrator, staff, in his or her best judgment, will determine which, if any, of the neighbors shall be notified of the issuance of the permit and the method of such notification. It might not be Nancy's scenario where there's, lots of space, we might not need any notification. And then it might be just too burdensome to talk to everybody on Beach Road from one side to the other, as opposed to a couple of phone calls. And that at least gives even more discretion to the administrative staff of the town.
Another part of a job description.
So
That'll take a few hours.
which of the neighbors,
If any.
If any.
Beach Road is just a prime example. It's right there over the water, but densely populated. Yeah, it's just perfect storm.
It's a lot of permits on Beach Road.
Yeah, I bet.
Leave the permit at $20?
Well, that's what I was thinking. So what would be your guess? How many, are we talking mailed notification?
There's no other way to do it.
Right. So that takes care of 40 neighbors? Not quite, that's only postage.
That's only, yeah, it doesn't include time and materials.
Whereas if I were to get a permit, I can only think of 3 neighbors that would need to be notified. Point being, would it be like that most people would have a lot of neighbors or few neighbors? Or is the $20 per person going to cover everything?
In thinking about the permits issued, most of them are in populated areas.
Near the water.
So then it might not.
Maybe just two, the people immediately next door, adjacent properties, and just leave it at that.
On the Beach Road, do they shoot them over the water, or do they shoot them anywhere and everywhere?
Mercy.
Out over the water. They're shooting them from property.
Like a war zone.
I would assume they're probably shooting them off of docks or something.
Yeah, you would hope.
Logical.
Okay, 2 issues. Permit fee? Keep it at 20?
Will $20 cover it?
If you're only notifying the adjacent neighbors, yeah.
Why don't we try that, see how it goes?
So do we have to determine the adjacent neighbors?
Yeah, you can do that.
Well,
I mean, or do we have them determine and tell us who their neighbors are?
Well, they're telling us where their address, where they're gonna shoot them at.
Right.
We
So-
go on the county website and we find the adjacent neighbors.
Right.
Right.
So there's just one sentence then, in H. The fee for a permit shall be, let's say, $20, payable in advance. Such fee shall, no, two sentences. Such fee shall cover the expense of the town to notify the adjacent neighbors that a permit has been issued in the date and time of the fireworks display.
There you go.
Yeah.
What method of notification are we using?
yeah, mail is,
Well,
And then scratch the if any.
All of that gets scratched, yeah.
Okay.
The entire second sentence, a third
Third
sentence
sentence.
gets scratched.
Okay.
and if there are mailing addresses in Illinois,
Yeah.
Or a good sign.
And the town notifies,
How else are we supposed to notify people? We don't have everybody's,
you go up and knock on their door.
you just are looking for a way to get out of the
And
office.
tack you tack it on there, with a hammer and a nail to the front door.
another part of a job description.
And then in
these down.
that preamble, I think everything, the first whereas would be the beginning, 1, 2, 3, 4 paragraphs. Then it should say then ordinance 4-07 is hereby repealed. And the town of Liberty Grove does hereby adopt ordinance 219 for the sale, use, or discharge and storage of fireworks. And then section 1 starts.
You got all that?
Who's got it?
and the town will take it upon itself for G, permit shall be delivered to the local fire chief and county sheriff.
Where is he saying that
Oh.
the first one should go?
Right now, the fire chief or assistant fire chief has to sign off on the permits. I didn't see that in here. Where?
All right,
It's on the permit form itself, isn't it?
yeah,
I think that's still a requirement.
yep. Chairman and fire chief.
Yeah, okay.
All right, so it's all been switched around.
So everybody understand what we just did or about to do?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve ordinance 219, fireworks policy as
Amended.
amended, I guess. Yeah.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Should do a roll call on ordinance.
No, okay. Roll call, please. Thank you. If looks could kill.
Ronsos,
Aye.
Ward,
Aye.
Goss,
Aye.
Lowry.
Yes.
Passes.
Okay, going on to notice of adoption of smart growth plan, ordinance 119. I'll make a motion to approve Town of Liberty Grove ordinance 119, notice of adoption of the smart growth plan.
I'll second that.
Roll call, please.
Ward,
Aye.
Ronsos,
Aye.
Lowry.
Yes.
Goss.
Aye.
Passes.
Going on to the contract for Schenck CLA for the 2018 audit. Everybody read through that?
Yeah.
We budgeted 9,500 for it, and they've got a not to exceed 74.
Great.
So we're under budget.
And this includes the utility district.
No, the utility district is separate, they're paying their own way.
So there.
Well, I'll move to approve the contract with Shank CLA for the 2018 audit.
I'll second.
Go ahead. I'll second that.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. 14, Paul?
Paul Schwengel, Gills Rock. I know that we've asked from Door County North, and the Tech Committee has approved, or at least put that on the table for approving partial sponsorship of our cost for Wi-Fi out of the Welcome Center, which it'll be called in the future. And I'm all in favor of that, and as many of these hotspots that they can come up with. Because that's the intent of the IT committee, is to improve broadband and connectivity here in Liberty Grove. I hope that my inclusion on the IT committee can also show that most of that and any of those funds shouldn't be used for other promotional activities with the need for our connectivity needs up here. To go on to make videos or do promotions, I don't think is in their best interest. It's really to improve our broadband coverage.
Okay, thank you.
I have a question. What exactly are the recommendations? What are the expenses for?
Okay. In their budget, which was approved, they've got $1,900 for Wi-Fi hotspots. What they want to do is they want to give Door County North $480 for 2019, which is the internet portion of their charter bill. And they also approved the extra work done by Mike Street to get Wi-Fi out into the park up in Gills Rock.
Okay.
And their decision, which I haven't heard back from Bockelman.
Bokelman, Longo.
Brooks?
Okay, anyway,
Bachman on that group, too?
no, I've got the wrong Paul.
Schwengel?
No. Can't think of the guy's name.
He's on the committee?
He's on the committee that was
Yeah.
going to get
Yes.
back, yeah.
He was gonna meet with Street and find out what the difference between these two are. Even if we go with the more expensive one, which would be $13,1475, there is enough in their approved budget to cover these two expenses, both of them being for Wi-Fi hotspots. That was the recommendation from the IT committee, or the tech committee.
Now, is this for, as regards Door County North, is this ongoing for year after year, or is this just 1 year?
They said to do it for 19 and then review it.
Okay.
This is a hotspot at right there at the information booth, the
Which-
Welcome Center,
Which they already have.
which is already there, yeah.
They're asking basically for help to pay for it.
For help, yeah, I was gonna say, they're paying for it now. And I don't have a problem with that per se, I'm just thinking that when their request came in for funds, they wound up receiving $5,000 extra than what they asked for, and now they're asking for a little more to pay for Wi-Fi, and I don't want to see this get into a creeping commitment type thing. That's all. I'm not gonna oppose it, but I note it.
I think that the tech committee made the offer That it wasn't a request
Uh-uh.
from Door County North? It was a request from Door County North? Oh,
To whom did they request? Who did Door County North request to?
They came to the tech meeting.
So they didn't ask the town board for money.
No, they asked the tech committee to give what they had budgeted for hotspots, to consider funding their hotspot as
this,
as
yeah.
another hotspot that the town would then help to sponsor.
And in the smart growth plan I read today, where it talks about hotspots, it actually mentions the Ellison Bay Information Center, I think is the wording in there, as a, and others as a hotspot location.
However, not all are funded by the town.
And it is just a guide.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion then to approve the recommendations of the tech committee for the expenses for Wi-Fi hotspots.
I'll second.
Including the information booth in Ellison Bay and the museum.
Well, that's what they're recommending, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay, all in favor, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
I abstain.
All right, motion carries. 15. I'm proposing that the town board become the utility district #1 committee. And my thought is, utility district meets once a month, am I correct?
Correct.
We, we do it before either, excuse me, at 6:45 before the first or the second meeting of the month. Their meetings are pretty short from what I'm understanding.
So would that mean the existing committee would be part of that, or they would not exist?
It would be our choice, I guess. I know Tom has kind of indicated it's a waste of his time.
He likes the per diem.
Yeah, well, yeah.
It's not that, not, yeah. he-
Well, if you want to dissolve that committee or commission, then they wouldn't be anymore.
Right.
Okay,
It'll just be the town board managing a utility district as part of the sanitary district duties. And probably call yourself to order as the sanitary district.
Right,
and
and then,
Do a separate posting of that.
yeah. I guess that answers the question then.
mm-hmm,
And then the, actually that becomes a per diem then, not a,
It's a per diem for your board.
Let's look at how the thing was set up and
Yeah.
see if we have to unset it up
unset it up.
according
Okay.
to how it was done before. But
currently it's like $45. It's way more than we get as a board. Just strange.
Well, what's, right now, they get what, 300 a month?
Quarter.
A quarter?
that factors out to $100 a meeting.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I think they get that plus the per diem.
plus a per diem, I'm pretty sure. I don't know, I don't pay attention.
Can I get on the committee?
Yeah, I was gonna say. It strikes me that it should be strictly a per diem. I don't think. So are you going to look into undoing?
Yeah, I'll look back and see exactly how it was set up. I think it was done by just a resolution, but I don't
Okay.
recall if it was by ordinance or not, so
So why don't we,
it's all in the folder.
let's table this until the next meeting? So I move we table considering managing of utility district number 1 till the next meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Operator license?
None.
None. Correspondence?
We have a letter from the DNR regarding a permit application that's being approved to install riprap on the banks of Green Bay. James Allis on Highway 42, and gives the location at 12009 South Highway 42. Must be up north. So anyway, the interesting part of this is be signed by Sarah Szabo, Water Management Specialist, not Carrie Webb anymore. So Carrie Webb has moved up the ladder a little bit, and this other person has taken over. Town Association Magazine, a couple of Christmas cards. One was very interesting. A little ditty in here that says, "In appreciation for our relationship and the gardens we nurture, donations have been made to Northern Door Children's Center to support the working families that are the backbone of this county, and Money Management Counselors, FSC something or other, consumer credit to honor 25 years of education and counseling that fosters financial wellness for residents of Door and Kewaunee counties." This is from Beth Coleman, the garden lady.
Oh, nice.
There's an email from Mr. Schmidt up on Door Bluff Park Road with a picture of Door Bluff Park Road, how it looked one evening a little while ago, asking that it be graded. However, the road was frozen and not easily graded.
It looks like somebody had fun with their mortars.
It looks like a lunar land.
Yeah, it does look like a lunar landing.
Craters of the moon.
It's where they probably did the lunar landing. It's all a hoax, right?
Ooh,
That's where,
Conspiracy
that's what really
theory there.
happened. It didn't go to the moon. Thursday, January 3rd, Chambers Room of Government Center is the Bill and William and Roxanne Apple request for a conditional use permit, and that would be all.
Future meetings. Future meetings. Oh, I'm sorry.
I thought you were asking about correspondence. I know you hate to get off the subject.
Yeah, right. Oh, God.
Library Commission on the 8th at 1 o'clock. Parks and Property, 9 a.m. on the 8th. Court at 1:30 on the 8th. Plan Commission, 7 o'clock on the 9th. NWTC at 2:30. And the Gills Rock informational meetings at NWTC, 10 a.m., 1 p.m., and 7 p.m. on the 14th. And the town board on the 16th. GRW.
Gills Rock Waterfront.
Oh, Gills Rock Waterfront on the 17th at 9:30. Tech Committee at 7 o'clock. That pretty much takes us, we have the M-Shaw class on the 24th at 7 a.m. to, I think, about 3:30. And that takes us up, Gills Rock closing on the properties the 29th. Everything should be in order by then. Cross your fingers. Nomination papers are in for town board. And nomination papers are in for the school board. We're told there are 5 people for 2 seats, meaning a primary will be held in February, just for the school board, on the 19th.
February 19th?
That's the spring
Is the-
primary.
Yeah. Okay, before I move to adjourn, from Mr. Frank A. Clark, quote, "If you find a path with no obstacles, it probably doesn't lead anywhere. End quote.
You should give Mr. Schmidt that one.
Yeah. I move we adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We stand adjourned.
That should be his response there, send him that.
Oh.
The guy who sent the Door Bluff Road, Park Road, picture there.
That is just unbelievable.
Oh,
Oh, it makes it
my
much
road used
worse
to look
than
like that.
that.